good evening, creeps.
Well, it's actually like 3 a.m. here, but you're probably not even watching this in the year that it was recorded. Tales from the Crypt, Season 3, Episode 9, Undertaking Palor. Starts out with the opening, the theme song and going through the sets and the miniatures and the CG and all that stuff. And then after that, we get to the Crypt Keeper, and he's like in a director's thing with the goofy hat, the fold out chair, and the fucking cone. He was with one of these. We'll get to that at the end. He has that cone thing, just typical director, old stereotypical director shit. And then we get into the story. We see three kids walking out of a movie theater. They go into a back alley, and we see like some kind of weird video footage vision. So the kids are getting chased by this figure, and it turns out to be their stereotypical sounding Asian friend, because this was made in the early 90s, and the only way Asian people could get work is if they put on a stereotypical accent. This kid couldn't look any more American. However, he talked like he was fresh off the boat, as they say. So it's all a fucking joke. He was just recording shit with his camera, doing a prank or whatever. And then the fucking tough kid in the leather jacket, he's like, "Hey, you want to make a real horror movie?" Tee hee hee hee. So they go to the fucking funeral home, and say, "All right, let's shake hands with a dead body." And he says, "Talk to me." Just kidding. This is way before that shit. And this is an Australian, mate. So they go to the funeral home. The body there is the town's librarian. But then they hear the mortician coming, so they all hide. And, typical creepy mortician. He's saying things like, "Oh, why wouldn't you go out with me? Why wouldn't you give me the time of day? I'll make you smile." And then he picks up like this comically large sledgehammer. I wouldn't call it a mallet, definitely bigger than an average sledgehammer. Uh, Maybe a little smaller than old Mjolnir, but it was a little big for what he was doing. And what he was doing was smacking this corpse on the side of the fucking jaw in hopes of making the corpse smile and presentable, because I guess that's how morticians do that. Anyways, distractions made so the kids can run out. Of course, the fat kid doesn't make it in time, and he has to hide under something. And he hears another person walk in, and it turns out the mortician and the town's pharmacist are in cahoots to try and fucking get money from all these funerals. The pharmacist will give people fucked up medications that'll kill them, and then they'll split the money. Okay. So the fat kid overhears their next job, where they're going to give some fucked up medication to an asthmatic. And so the fat kid's able to get away, and then he meets up with his friends. He's like, "Oh man, I overheard this shit. You're not gonna believe it. Oh my god." So then they go and find their other friend, the Asian kid. He's an American kid, but the way they have this fucker speaking, it's goddamn ridiculous. So, anyways, they go up to that dude's house, and he's on the porch fucking crying very convincingly. Says, "Oh, my dad's dead." Oh my God, he was that asthmatic guy they fucked over. Can you believe it? They fill the kid in on what the fat guy heard, and they make a plan to say, "All right, let's go get him." So they break into the fucking mortuary, and they're going to get some video footage of, something. Luckily, the pharmacist shows up wanting to get out of their deal. So the pharmacist figures he's going to have to shoot the mortician, and the mortician ends up shoving some good old poison down the pharmacist's throat, so he foams up blood and all that. So, the kids got a murder on tape. I'm sure they weren't expecting that solid of evidence, but hey, it happened. So, the kids come out and say, we got you, you fuck. Long story short, the fucking mortician chases after a kid. The kid holds up like a gut sucking vacuum, and the guy just kind of gets pushed into it. Kind of, it doesn't like and go through him or anything, and it doesn't have like an edge to it. It's just like a metal suction part on any vacuum. And it just goes through them and sucks everything out. It's good that works out. And then we pan over to the body he was trying to make smile earlier. And now it's smiling because of revengeance, you see.
Tales from the Crypt.
Oh shit. Then the crypt keeper, he comes back, says something about sucking dick, and we're out. So it was the best one in the season so far. Wasn't great, but it was a little better than all right. It felt like what is it? Are You Afraid of the Dark, but with swears and blood in it? So if you like that, this is definitely has the feel of like an It or a Monster Squad, like early 90s. I don't want to say kids horror because this is an adult thing. It just kind of has kids in it. Maybe it's not. It is kind of, I don't want to say kid friendly because it has these dummy bodies, and one of the dummy bodies has their tits hanging out. So you can't really say that shit. But yeah, it was all right. It was fucking the best one so far, which I mean isn't saying a whole lot because everything's been pretty mediocre. But it was it was all right. This one, I don't know if I said it, but it was a rarity. This one is actually from the Tales from the Crypt comic, not Vault of Horror shock suspense stories. So that doesn't happen often. We look down here, see if there's anything else. I don't really think so. So head on over to dwnproductions.net. Check out my artwork, my masks, bust props. Maybe you want a custom body prop made. Maybe I can do that for you. So hit me up. After that, check out Fast Custom Shirts, hundreds and hundreds of t-shirt designs, all very reasonably priced, run by good old T-shirt Joe, a dude I do a podcast with every Sunday, maybe not anymore. I don't know when you're listening to this. Hopefully nothing horrible happened that caused us not to do a podcast anymore. But as of this recording, every Sunday, except this Sunday, because it's going to be Christmas at the time of recording, you see, oh, Merry Christmas. Anyways, there's a podcast most Sundays, 10 p.m. Central, live here, or go to boygob.com.
Until next time, creeps. Boy, God.